Greetings, my love, and good grief. Here we have the latest Olympia art. I forgot to take pics of the last batch a few years ago that were of lime green Baphomets, these wild satanic things that were floating about, and suddenly they were gone, and I never knew how much they cost. Now this is interesting because this is Olympia Crossings, and right here they talk about location and cost analysis and prioritization. And that's the only time I ever saw anything about cost. Go through this with me, people. They just call it the proposed sculpture. It's not proposed, everybody. Look, it's there. We drive by it every day. And I don't know if these are to like cover up the homeless encampments or something. Here we've got 1 million homeless encampments and then past encampments that are now rocks. And now we have this for inspiration. And what is this called? So we start with okay, this is Corridors to Olympia. Gateways Public Art. Public art means that the public is getting built. See? There we go. There's one of them right there. Arts Program Manager. Notice how they're tearing down trees, tearing down housing, tearing down beautiful, old, gorgeous, wild places. And, oh, okay. Now here's one by a state shirker's place who now works at hospice as a volunteer to get dying people to sign over their estates to them. Former director here, so they had that put in front of their place. And they're showing, it's complicated. That's why we're gonna, they charged $30,000 for that thing that says Olympia downtown that I thought was just really bad graffiti. It just looked like kind of, badly done elementary school. I mean, this, I guess, is more art, but I don't want it, God knows. It's just funny how they put that term cost analysis and then never told us how much it cost. That's just wild. So here's where it is. Olympia Crossings. They're in a bubble world. That's why she's in that little round thing. No, there are no problems here. Everyone's fine. There's no homeless people or suffering people. We're just going to put up weird art stuff that costs a fortune, Here's our block that was completely torn down. I found some pictures someone had taken online. All those big, beautiful trees, and, these might not be the best pictures in the world. It was sort of much more, but, they at least were trying to get something in. That's kind of the weird thing across the way. And all of that just completely gone. That little foresty, wooded, fun area, gone. And why is it gone? Here's historic preservation. And now they've got another psychopath. Because I looked at another film I did and we had a different one. So here's the latest psychopath smiling, right? And the last psychopath I talked to told me it was torn down because it was not in a historic district, which is nuts. Like, the whole town is a historic district. Like, who determined? And this downtown really is awful. The downtown of Olympia is all built on pilings. It's really disgusting buildings that all smell like sewage and stuff. Like, Fourth Ave is a mess. It's really not like historic, worth preservation at all. So you've got some real fools here. The buildings that got torn down here, and unfortunately here, I'll try to see if anyone took a picture of Sherwood, because it's behind the Ground Inn. There's an alleyway, and on the alleyway within is where the old Sherwood Press was. So he's kind of taking pictures from the street. You can't really see it. So Nicole Floyd, principal planner. So this is the one in charge of just, and again, again, we've got vacant buildings right across the street from that. So they didn't even need to tear that down if there was, a need to put up another Lego ugly building. So yeah, it's just crazy. All of this is historic. How did she determine? That's why Marxism drives me nuts, this cultural Marxism, where they just suddenly determine, we've now determined what is historic, and what isn't, as opposed to what really is historic, and just tearing stuff down. It's heartbreaking. It's all going to be ugly. Like, that's probably going to look better than whatever's going up. It's just really, really, really sad. So, sorry, I need to find the better things. So, Gateways Public Art. So, here are the latest reptilians in the mix. Sorry there's no music for this. I can't even think of anything musical about this. It's funny because they've made this is where they all hang out with each other. So it's like they'll make their own little neighborhood, the historic neighborhood. The Capitol neighborhood isn't even on here. The Capitol campus. Oh, I guess the Capitol campus is historic, but everything. So this is where they tore all of that down, right here, which is actually super historic. It's all tied in with the Capitol. So, what do I say? I'm sorry, you guys. I kind of avoid doing this. There's been some icky grant stuff that's been coming up in the paper, and it's like I don't want to bother anyone about it, but, oh, there's that word again, community. There's no community. There's just some moron calling themselves a principal planner and saying this is historic, some flooded out goddamn place, and then where they live, and everything else, be damned. Construction in Olympia, Well, they sure aren't doing any equity and inclusion with the animals, because they're tearing down so many trees. It's just freaking me out. It's hard to even go there. Climate change response. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. What a little piece of propaganda here, huh? What? Housing and homelessness. That's their favorite thing right there. Housing and homelessness. Not the housing. Homelessness. I'm surprised they don't have a big ad for, offing babies too. That's like the fun thing. That's what they seem to flourish on. This just psychopathic. I just can't imagine smiling after just destroying so much. But that's part of it. It's part of the humiliation ritual of these twisted reptilians.